Hi guys, when we're in the blues scale in the key of C, another little trick which I kind of picked up from Jules Holland is to start on the 6th note of the scale, which is, if you remember here, camera person to the right hand. If, let's say we're in the key of C and you want to do a kind of blues boogie improvisation, instead of just starting on the main note of the scale, go for the 6th one. Now the 6th note is not actually in the blues scale really, but remember, just because you're playing the blues scale, and this is a common misunderstanding, it doesn't mean that you cannot use notes which are not in the blues scale, right? So get that really clear. Because you're playing the blues scale, it does not mean that, oh, that note is not in the blue, A is not in the C blue, is not in the C blues scale, but that doesn't mean you can't use it. It just means that it's just a kind of passing note. And you might want to start off with the 6th note because it's not in the blues scale, and it kind of sounds a bit jarring and rather effective. So, you know, instead of doing, which is kind of pure, you might want to start with the 6th note, which is not in the blues scale. It can sound like this. So you can see there how I use the 6th note there quite a lot, probably more than I would normally do, just to make the point that actually starting on the 6th note for an improvisation adds a kind of jarring tone to your blues improvisations, which you can use occasionally, again, to avoid that monotony. As always, that's just a little trick and a tip to be used sparingly. You know, it's a little, you know, you don't want to all the time start on. If you listen to the kind of style of Jules Holland, he often does that when he's playing the kind of boogie woogie blues improvisations. He often starts on the 6th, you know, to give that slightly jarring feel. So that's an example of how you can use notes which are not in the blues scale when you are actually doing a blues scale improvisation. So experiment with that and listen to some Jules Holland boogie solos to see if you can spot that little trick in there. And again, incorporate it into your own blues and boogie improvisations, but with moderation. You know, all these kind of little tricks, riffs and techniques are designed to be used in moderation, and when you overdo it, it loses its effect. So it's just a little trick to be used as a kind of seasoning to kind of break up the monotony. Again, too much salt and it becomes inedible. Too little salt and well, you know, it's also tasteless. So just getting that right balance with these tricks is where it's at. As always, you will get better if you listen also to your blues and boogie woogie recordings. You will absorb the styles of other great pianists and it will help you with your improvisation. So make sure you're listening as well regularly in order to improve your improvisation skills. There's no point in trying to become a brilliant improviser if you're not also listening and absorbing the great boogie and blues recordings. So for those of you who say, I don't know what notes to play, I don't know what rhythms to play, basically I don't know what to do, well, are you listening regularly to your boogie woogie and blues CD collection? Because that's a key component in developing your improvisation skills. You know, spend 6 months listening and absorbing and internalizing that sound in conjunction with learning the blues sound, and if you put it all together along with the Dr. K Boogie channel, you're soon going to be a badass boogie boss. Which reminds me to go to www.badassboogie.com to download the Badass Boogie bundles, the sheet music and all the cool boogie and blues learning products for this YouTube page. As always, press that like button, stay tuned, and I'll talk to you soon.